The dark secrets behind major airline logos. Have you ever looked at an airline logo and thought it was just a nice design? Maybe a bird, a globe, or a splash of color? Think again. Behind many of those polished designs are stories of power, politics, nationalism, corporate manipulation, and even scandal. Today, we're going to expose the dark secrets behind major airline logos, and trust me, once you see them, you'll never look at your boarding pass the same way again. Airline logos aren't just decoration. They're symbols of pride, identity, and branding power. They influence how we feel about a flight before we even book a ticket. But hidden within the curves and colors of these logos are tales of colonialism, bankruptcies, propaganda, and secrets most airlines don't want passengers to notice. And it all starts with a simple truth. Logos aren't chosen randomly. They're designed to tell a story, or to hide one. Let's start with one of the most famous logos in aviation, American Airlines. For decades, their eagle logo was considered a proud symbol of freedom and American strength. But few people realize the original logo, designed in 1931, had two capital A's flanking a bold eagle, an image so close to military insignia that critics accused the airline of subtly promoting U.S. air dominance during World War II. And when they redesigned in 2013, removing the eagle entirely, passengers were outraged. What was really happening? Some say the rebrand was less about modernization and more about burying decades of association with aggressive corporate mergers and bankruptcies. The logo became a cover-up, a clean look for an airline with a messy past. Now think about Lufthansa. Their crane logo might look like a peaceful bird, soaring gracefully through the skies. But here's the dark part. That crane was first designed in 1918, and during the Nazi era, Lufthansa's operations were deeply tied to the regime. Their aircraft carried officials, and the airline's growth was fueled by Germany's expansionist policies. After the war, Lufthansa was dissolved, then reborn in 1953, and yet the crane logo, unchanged, was revived as if nothing had happened. For many historians, that bird is not just a crane, but a ghost of a very dark chapter in European history. Then there's Japan Airlines, JAL, and its iconic red crane. Elegant, timeless, powerful. But here's the little-known truth. When JAL rebranded in the 2000s, they ditched the crane for a modern swoosh logo, hoping to seem global and trendy. That decision backfired massively. Passengers revolted, accusing the airline of abandoning tradition and national pride. Behind the scenes, though, the new logo was linked to a darker reason, an attempt to erase the memory of JAL Flight 123, the deadliest single aircraft accident in history in 1985. That crash haunted the airline's reputation, and some insiders believe the logo change was a symbolic break from a tragedy they could never escape. Years later, they brought back the crane, not out of love, but out of desperation, to restore trust. How about Qatar Airways? You've seen the oryx, the proud national animal of Qatar, on their tail fins. It looks harmless, right? But dig deeper, and you'll see that the logo isn't just about heritage. It's part of a carefully orchestrated branding campaign that hides controversies about labor practices and political influence. The oryx is meant to project elegance and luxury, while distracting from criticism of how the airline, and by extension, the state of Qatar, treats migrant workers and wields aviation as a tool of soft power. In other words, that logo is not just an antelope, it's a mask. Even British Airways isn't free from controversy. Their logo today features the red, white, and blue speed mark, a sleek ribbon of movement. But back in the late 1990s, BA tried something shocking. They replaced the Union Jack with multicultural world images painted on their tail fins. The idea was to represent a global Britain, friendly and modern. But critics, including high-ranking politicians, called it unpatriotic. Secretly, some staff admitted the change was meant to distance the airline from the baggage of colonial history tied to the Union Jack. In the end, pressure forced BA to quietly restore national imagery, but the attempt revealed something dark. Airlines know logos are political weapons, and sometimes they backfire. Let's not forget South African Airways. Their logo, with its vibrant flag colors and stylized sun, seems like a celebration of diversity and post-apartheid identity. But behind it lies a financial scandal. For years, SAA used branding and logo redesigns to distract from deep corruption, mismanagement, and billions in losses. Insiders have said the logo became a kind of camouflage, bright colors on the surface, hiding decades of turbulence inside. And then there's Aeroflot, Russia's flag carrier. Their winged hammer and sickle logo, used during the Soviet Union, was one of the most politically charged airline logos in history. While most airlines promoted freedom and travel, Aeroflot's logo screamed state control and communist pride. Even today, the airline still carries the hammer and sickle as part of its heritage branding. To some, it's nostalgia. To others, it's a dark reminder that this airline was once the tool of a surveillance state. Even airlines that seem innocent have hidden stories. Singapore Airlines' bird logo is based on a silver kris, a traditional dagger. Passengers see a gentle golden bird, but in reality, the design is rooted in a weapon, a symbol of power, dominance, and tradition. Air France's seahorse logo traces back to its ties with the French Navy and colonial air routes, and Emirates' calligraphy logo, admired for its elegance, doubles as a piece of soft power branding, promoting Dubai as a global hub while quietly masking criticism over human rights issues. The truth is this: airline logos aren't just pretty pictures. They're shields, masks, and sometimes weapons. They're designed to inspire loyalty, to evoke national pride, to bury scandals, or to rewrite history. Behind the clean typography and bright colors are decades of political maneuvering, tragedies, and secrets most passengers never notice. So next time you're boarding a plane, take a closer look at the tail fin or your boarding pass. That symbol might look like just a bird, a ribbon, or a splash of color, but it could also be a carefully crafted piece of propaganda. Now I want to hear from you. Which airline logo do you think hides the darkest story? Was it Lufthansa's crane, with its Nazi-era shadows, JL's crane tied to a tragic crash, or Aeroflot's hammer and sickle? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'll feature the best ones in the next video. If you enjoyed uncovering these hidden stories, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with someone who loves aviation. Because sometimes the deepest secrets aren't hidden in the skies. They're hiding in plain sight, right on the tail of your plane.